Hey everybody, this is Liam Martin from Running Remote, and in today's video, we're gonna be talking about something that's kind of negative, but also kind of positive, which is why we fired ourselves from doing any paid acquisition. Stay tuned. So for those that don't know me, my name is Liam Martin. I run a couple companies called Time Doctor, Staff.com, and Running Remote, which is the YouTube channel that you're currently on right now, which is a channel dedicated to understanding how remote teams work. We run a remote team of 100 remote employees in 34 different countries all over the world. And you'd think with 100 people inside of our organization, we would have one person that's good at running paid acquisition funnels, but we don't. And we actually ended up permanently firing ourselves. Literally, this past month, we ended up hiring a brand new agency, and this was after us working with about a dozen agencies, getting to this particular agency, which produced really fantastic returns on investment. I'm gonna get into the details of that very quickly later in this video. But before we get into that, why don't you like this video and subscribe to this YouTube channel? That way you're telling the algorithm that this video is pretty awesome and that we should be making more of them. So the last year of our kind of Facebook and paid acquisition experiments, and most of our paid acquisition is inside of Facebook. It's still the primary place to be able to get customers. We spent a little over $200,000, which was not very good. And the average cost of acquiring a customer was $600. So you run the math on that. Basically, how many 600s can you put into 200,000? It will probably come up with this number. That's that number. And this was okay for us, but inside of our business, we have a certain amount of money that a customer will end up spending with us over their lifetime. It's called lifetime value. And for us, that number was actually not very good. There's something inside of SaaS called the golden ratio, or other people call it the cost of acquiring a customer payback period. And what we realized was this payback period sucked. So we were buying a customer and it would take us 14 to 15 months to be able to get that customer paid back, where we were making a single profitable dollar of revenue. So big problem for us. We were trying to figure out how to make this a lot more efficient. We ended up talking to a bunch of different agencies, and we ended up talking to ourselves and figuring out how we could actually do this internally. But through all of that, basically, we ended up coming to a much better price, which was, and I just looked at the numbers right now, the average cost of acquiring a customer is $185 for this next month. And it looks like the experiment is running well, the optimizations that we've done. So assuming that we spend the same $200,000 on paid acquisition this year, and we have a cost of acquiring a customer of $185, it should equal this number, which is a much better number. It's a much more profitable number. And on average, we will have the first dollar of true net profit within 3.8 months on this ratio versus, I think it was anywhere from 12 to 15 months for the previous iteration. So pretty darn good. Why did we not do this earlier? Well, here's the rub on this one. I have put out videos before about the differences between being an entrepreneur and being an executive. Entrepreneurs are people that want to do everything on their own, and they really have to when you start an organization because you have nothing. So basically, an entrepreneur turns nothing into something. An executive, however, turns something you already have into a bigger thing. So they scale organizations, and entrepreneurs really build organizations. And so we were stuck in that type of hamster wheel where it wasn't necessarily who we were going to hire to be able to do the task, but how we were going to do the task. And Facebook was one of those things that we really were trying, and we thought to ourselves, why can't we crack this thing? Why can't we do better at this in comparison to other people that we know that seem to be doing a much better job? And here's the unfortunate truth that we had to accept. Sometimes you're just not very good at things. And sometimes you need to fire yourself to actually get yourself out of the way so that someone can come in and can do it properly. So this year moving forward, we're going to be implementing a ton of those types of policies. We've implemented a lot of agencies inside of our organization to augment our existing staff. We've also implemented a lot of consultants that are coming in to be able to guide our staff in the right direction and just kind of get out of our own way, because I really wish I could have kept that extra $200,000 that we lost last year, because I'd love like a couple Teslas or a villa in Bali or something like that. That's literally what we wasted to be able to think that we were the best people to be able to do that particular job. So for anyone that's in that same boat now, I'm just kind of giving you a talk right now on video. Get out of your own way. Hire someone who's better than you to actually do the job. Manage them properly. Make sure they're successful. Make sure you're checking in with them on a regular basis. But fundamentally, you're not very good at most things, unfortunately. You may think that you are, but you're not. So you need to get out of your own way so that you can hire people that will build your business for you. That's the end of my rant. If you liked this video, why don't you like this video and subscribe to this YouTube channel? It helps me out quite a bit. And if you look up at this panel right here is what I think that you should watch as the next video on this YouTube channel. And this one right here is what the YouTube algorithm thinks that you should watch. Make your choice. See you in the next video.